Welcome, everybody, to a brand new year of Inside the Force. Dave Cunningham here with Hannah Burr.
Hello.
How are you, Hannah?
2026. I'm doing well, and how are you?
I am doing well now.
I was about to say, let me correct that. I'm doing better.
Correct. Yes. So it's been a little bit for us. Hannah had some work to do on some ships. And then you kind of got sick. And then I kind of got sick.
Latest strain of flu, I do not recommend, especially when on a cruise ship.
Yeah. Both times I've been on a cruise ship, I actually got off a little sick. But this put me out a little bit longer. I was out a little over a week. I mean, I wasn't out. I mean, I still kind of, I got cooked up with medicine and still worked. But it was one of the things where by like 9 or 10, I was like drained and I was ready to go to bed. And, I just, for some reason, I didn't feel like I needed to go to the doctor because I thought I was going to get better the next day, but then I didn't. And then finally I did. But anyway, I'm better now. I'm still a little clogged up, but I'm okay. I feel better.
That's good.
But how was your holidays, regardless?
It was lovely. Our parents actually came down to Orlando because my sister's here as well. So that was our Christmas holiday. Of course, we went to Disney.
Yes.
But yeah, that was it. New Year's Eve was great. I went to bed at 10. It was glorious. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, as you know, end of year with my job is rough. So like all of December is kind of just closing out a bunch of stuff and getting ready, budgets ready for the next year. So a lot of work to do. Of course, then comes, getting ready for Christmas and the girls. And so it kind of, it was funny because we've been customary to put our trees out now. We have a couple like real skinny trees, and we put it out pretty much right after Halloween now. So we've had Christmas in the house ever since early November.
After Halloween?
Well, yeah, because the problem is that we've noticed that if we wait till Thanksgiving, which was what we did when we kind of first got married and stuff. Again, it goes by so fast. You feel like when you put it up, you take it down. So we put up in November so we can actually enjoy it in November. Because once after Thanksgiving, it's like nonstop. With her finishing school, with me getting the company finished up, and then getting ready for Christmas. With gifts and all that. I mean, I really don't remember December much. I mean, it was so fast. Besides, and then of course I started feeling bad right after the day after Christmas. So then I was down pretty much all week up until through New Year's a little bit. So, and the New Year's was we watched the finale of Stranger Things New Year's Eve because me and my daughter Sam, we've been catching up over the last couple months. And I was rewatching the series because I'd only seen it once when it released. So there was a lot of stuff I picked up on again in this second time watching, and I'm glad I did. But then I had already watched the season 5 releases at Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve. So I waited till we went through it all and she was caught up. And then she was caught up right the day before New Year's Eve. We watched the finale together, and now Brooke actually is watching the series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really good. It's actually really good. It's one of my favorites. I know you're in the middle of it right now.
Yeah, Zach and I tried watching it, and it just didn't click, and I don't know why because we love D&D.
I know
it didn't click, and then New Year's Day, Zach went, "You know what? Let's give it another chance," and we binged seasons 1 and 2. So now we are on season 3.
And so I'm assuming you're binging it because you enjoy it.
Oh yeah, it was great. It's great.
Yeah, okay.
It's great.
Because I don't know the D&D world, and I remember watching the finale because, well, I won't give it away, but there's some more D&D in there, and I just remember thinking like, Hannah's got to be watching this because she's such a huge D&D. Like, you actually do D&D. You like play in the stuff.
We started a new campaign last night.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so Stranger Things is good. It's out there.
Yes.
But we're here talking about Star Wars, and I want to, and Star Wars has been obviously real quiet still lately. There was actually a very big announcement, it looks like today, that I just found. You may not even know about it.
I might not.
So we'll talk about that, and we'll just this is kind of our year in review episode as well. We always kind of look back at the year that was and what our favorite things were about it, but we'll talk about that. And the next week we'll talk about what's to come in 2026 for Star Wars. A lot of big things coming and a lot of exciting things happening. So,
indeed.
So first up, real quick, thanks to our patrons as always for sticking with us and hanging with us. Again, we apologize for not really putting out much content over the last month, but we're over that now. We're back doing some stuff. So
new year, new us.
New year, new us. I got some new artwork also too that I'll be sharing here very soon, but so we'll see kind of a little change over the socials. But so one of the things, did you see? This is kind of mine. I felt like this is more your news.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? You might have actually shared it with me. That trailer for that game called Fate of the Old Republic that's coming out.
Yes, I do remember sharing that with you. I couldn't figure out if that was actually true or not because I'm sorry, AI is getting good.
Well, you're right. That's true. And I got really excited because I thought it was like this brand new game, which it is a new game, but it's actually part of the whole KOTOR series, right?
Yes.
So it's not like a canon type of game. It's like the third game in that. Knights of the Old Republic, then the Old Republic, and now it's Fate of the Old Republic. So, yeah, those trailers that they put out for that are just incredible looking.
Insane.
And I've always said it. I would want a movie that looks like that.
Absolutely. I think it's absolutely gorgeous what games look like nowadays, especially with motion capture.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I feel like, especially with the new Avatar movies coming out. Now, granted, I have not seen the new Avatar movies that have been coming out.
Oh, I haven't seen the last one. I saw the second one.
I didn't see either of them because personally, I thought the first Avatar Blue People movie, like, I thought it was absolutely cinematically groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really care much for the story, so I just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I work for the company. I don't speak for the company. These are my opinions and my alone. I have heard the latest two movies are really good, especially the latest one. I heard that one was amazing.
I heard mixed, but it's made a lot of money, so I think it really resonated. Yeah.
But if we can do more of that with Star Wars, just cinematically,
yeah,
because it looks stunning.
Agreed. So there is that game coming out again. It's not necessarily a canon game. It's continuing some the RPG level games from Knights of the Republic, but there was a slight announcement also with that the remake of Knights of the Republic is still getting done. So
it's a remake. It's not a remaster. Because I feel like they've been using both words.
It's a remake, which I believe they're canonizing that story somehow. So
I'm so scared.
We'll see. Yeah, exactly. We'll see how that works out. But okay, so the big news though, Hannah, which is again, I just saw it while I was looking up some stuff, is apparently it's not fully announced yet by Lucasfilm, but there are trades out there reporting this. So it's actually seems pretty legit, but apparently Disney has decided who is going to replace Kathleen Kennedy here very soon.
They have?
They have.
What?
And one, and obviously there are two people that are already they're already part of Lucasfilm, so they're not going outside of the company. But it's going to be co-presidents. It's going to be Lin-Manuel Brennan and Dave Filoni. It looks like they're going to be co-running this thing, and the way I've read it, it's very similar to what DC Studios did when they set up the new studio, where they had two CEOs. They have James Gunn and for some reason it's blanking on me his name. The other guy's name, I have it right here somewhere.
That's smart. It's smart to have two CEOs because
yes,
whenever you're looking for the CEO of a big company, you want somebody who, do they have to be an expert in everything that the company does? No, they don't. But they should at least have a basic understanding of everything. So if you have co-CEOs where you have one, which is what this looks like, you have one who's focused on the creative and who fully understands that. Then you have another person who fully understands business.
Correct.
And both of them do have appreciation and a basic understanding for the other field. I feel like you're set up for success.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so. Peter Safran is the co-CEO of DC Studios with James Gunn. So that's
okay.
So who is the business guy, and then James Gunn is the creative guy. So
that's smart.
This is very similar. Yeah, and DC's kind of off to a good start. Unfortunately, who knows how that's going to go because they just got bought by Netflix. So
that deal went through, and it is Netflix. It's not Paramount.
Not Paramount, no, Netflix.
So it's official. Netflix bought.
Yeah, and Paramount even came in and tried to undercut them, and DC Warner said no. So Netflix is going to own Warner and DC and HBO.
Goodbye, movie
and all that
theaters.
stuff.
Goodbye, movie theaters.
They did say that they are going to still honor some theatrical. They are also going to honor theatrical releases because the brand HBO DC is not going anywhere. They're just gonna rake in all the money from all that stuff. So anyway,
sorry, that's off topic.
Yeah, but this is kind of going to be. It looks like it's going to be structured the same way. Now, Lin-Manuel is obviously no stranger to Lucasfilm. She's been there for a long time. She actually ran ILM. She was the president of ILM in 2009. So just a brief background. She's been there since 1999. Started as technical area leader for the computer graphics technical directors in Lucasfilm's ILM, rose up to the ranks, became president in 2009. She then expanded and grew like offices in Vancouver, in British Columbia, Singapore, London. She was awarded a bunch of stuff for, expanding the visual arts and things like that. So prior to even Lucasfilm for 10 years, she was, head of visual effects and software development for like Avid Technologies, Alias, Wavefront, Parallax. So she has been in this business for a long, long time. She's been at Lucasfilm for a long, long time. So it's not like they just pulled somebody out from, running some other company. She's been there. Totally makes sense.
Yeah, and it's another smart move.
She's president and general manager already. That's her title. So now it's just going to be co-president, and then you got Dave Filoni, who's going to be co-president, but also probably chief creative officer still as well. And then you got, if you look at their leadership, you got some, Carrie Beck is up there still. She's going to be VP. She's VP of live action. Everybody should know her name from producing all the Clone Wars stuff. She's been with Filoni since he's been there. So,
right.
Doug Chang is still there. You got a great team right there still that's going to continue. It just seems like Kathleen is just kind of stepping back, and then these people are just kind of, it's not like there's going to be some big change in what's going on. So I'm excited. Filoni, it's a big thing for Filoni, I feel like, because, this guy came in as like, just like I mean, he came in just George's, apprentice on Clone Wars. And all of a sudden now he's running the company. So it's quite a journey for him.
I completely agree. I love seeing this like hero journey type of thing going on in real life. I mean, look at this guy. It's like its own Star Wars story.
True. Yeah, he's come a long way, I think, because I think everybody felt right away too when Clone Wars came out that this guy just knew and understood Lucas, understood Star Wars. You may not have liked everything he's done, but the guy knows the mythology and is keeping the themes that Lucas had. So and that's what you need. I mean, you need somebody like that that's going to be able to do that. But that was the big concern, is that if he was going to run Lucasfilm, how are you going to run the company, but then also be in charge of creative? Well, this is how you solve that. You just have two running the company.
Right.
So that's pretty huge. Pretty huge.
It is. And I think it's a really smart idea, actually.
Yeah, I do too. So not fully announced. These are just, leaked information that's getting into the trades, which normally means it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just when the announcements.
Yeah. / it's already happened. It's just not announced.
That's right. And it sounds like it's going to be sooner rather than later, because there wasn't necessarily a timetable for Kennedy's departure, but it looks like there is going to be some date that they're going to hit. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's really it on the news. Still no announcements on when Maul is going to be, the new, animated series Maul is going to be out. The only thing we really know, which we'll talk about next week more, and what's coming in 26 is, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie still coming out in May. But then we got Ahsoka season 2 that wrapped, and when is that coming out, and things like that. So lots to look forward to and talk about next week. Going into our next topic, which is reviewing everything we did get in 25. And even though, it's been slow for a while, we did get a lot of stuff early on.
Yes.
And things that we got. So I'll just go through the list, Hannah, and then we can kind of talk about what our favorites were, what we remember the most. But so early on, if you actually remember, early on in the year, we got the leftover episodes from the end of last year of Skeleton Crew. So Skeleton Crew finished out early this year.
Wow.
I know, right? So that was that. And then, of course, it went into getting the second season and final season of Andor. Uh-huh. That was this year. We got Vision season 3 or volume 3 this year. It was the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So that was out there and re-released in theaters. You got the announcements of Star Wars Starfighter, which started shooting. Mm-hmm. We got a trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is coming out, like I said, in May. We got Star Wars Tales of the Underworld, which talked about Cad Bane and Asajj Ventress. We got the announcement again of Maul, based around the 20th anniversary of Lucasfilm Animation. You got another Rebuild the Galaxy Lego Star Wars film called Pieces of the Past. Star Wars Celebration happened in Japan this past year. And we got the announcement of Star Wars Zero Company, which is a game that's coming out this year in 26. The game we talked about that's coming out also in 26. The cinematic trailer for Fate of the Old Republic came out. And then a bunch of comics, books and stuff like that. High Republic wrapped its phases finally this year as well. So that whole series is out there now. 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens happened just last month. 10 years of that.
What?
Yeah, that came out 2015. And then finally the announcement that for the 50th anniversary, which is in 27 of Star Wars, Lucasfilm is releasing the original cut of A New Hope in theaters, which reminds me, there was a comment from our last episode, actually from Thrawn Addict, I want to say, because he mentions this, he says, loving the Star Wars Disney ears, Hannah, of course, that you wore in the last episode. He said, I really hope they show Star Wars A New Hope, the original version in the UK. Due to being born in 91, I grew up with the special editions and didn't get to see the original theatricals versions. I know some people complain about the special editions, and I agree. Episode 4 and 6 suffer the most with some bad CGI creatures / species that are added in, but they are definitely some improvements for sure. Episode 5 benefited the most from the special editions, and I think there's anything glaring, it takes me out of it. Jabba the Hutt in episode 4 and Jabba's Palace band is definitely the worst things George added, but I bet there are things he added in the background that we don't even notice, that much like making the space battles crispier, etc. So, he's someone there in that generation, kind of your generation in a sense, that hasn't seen the theatrical versions of these films. So I guess that's a treat for most.
Yeah, I'm one of the oddballs where my dad actually had the original trilogy.
Yeah, but you didn't see it in theaters, though.
No, I didn't. So that would be awesome.
Right. Yeah. Now, I did not see the originals in theater either, except Return of the Jedi, which I barely remember. I was 6 years old, I think, when I went. So I don't remember too much of it. So I have not seen the original Star Wars film in theaters, but I did see the special editions, obviously, when they were in there. But okay, so out of everything I just mentioned, because it's funny when we do these things, I actually kind of get reminded, like, oh, that did come out this year. Oh, I did watch it this year.
I was just about to say, time is a soup.
It is these days, for sure.
I think COVID is to blame for that, in all honesty. I think COVID made time soup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It changed how, staying home and consuming stuff at home. And so what's your, I don't know, what are your fondest memories, or what's your favorite memories from this year on Star Wars?
I'll give you one guess.
Wow.
Easy.
Was it? Well, it's not Visions, is it?
Andor.
Oh, it is Andor? Okay, I guess it was, yeah.
Of course, Andor. It was so good. In fact, I think I did talk about this. A friend of mine, she saw the original trilogy, and then she was like, I feel like this is Marvel. I have to keep on watching all the Star Wars stuff. But then her friend convinced her to watch Andor.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the beautiful experience to do Andor season 1, season 2, Rogue One.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like, she didn't even see Rogue One yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good.
Sorry, I don't know if you heard my computer turn on. So that's how powerful Andor is.
Mm-hmm.
And she called it beautiful cinema. And she said shows across the board need to follow Andor's lead.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just beautiful storytelling. It feels like Star Wars without lightsabers.
Right.
Even without the mentioning, well, they mentioned the Emperor, but you know what I mean. Even without that, the sets, the acting, the music, I think we can go on and on and on and on and on and on about Andor.
I agree.
So for me, that was very fond. I thought Skeleton Crew was fun. So I think I'll put it up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm also going to say Visions, specifically Asajj Ventress.
Mm. Oh, that was Underworld Tales.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tales of the Underworld. I'm getting everything mixed up. Once again, time is soup. I did like Visions, though. There was some of that Japanese anime that I love. So those are my fondest memories. Like, you read off the list. And I'm sitting here going, I don't feel like a lot happened with Star Wars this year. But apparently a lot did.
Well, there was a lot of announcements.
True.
You know, and some anniversaries. I mean, if you take that out, to be honest, like if you take that out, we got the latter part of Skeleton Crew, we got Andor, we got Tales, and we got Visions.
That's true.
As far as actually something to watch.
So what are your fondest?
Which is not bad. I mean, that's not a bad, but, in the previous few years, we've gotten like 3 series, going on. 3 full series, not just short animation series.
That is true. But they are focusing more on quality versus quantity.
Yeah. Yeah, they say that. I think there was a little bit of a let's take a break, and because I think, there was still, it's just odd to think that, the last film we got was 2019. And
that's
nuts, right? It's been 6 years since there's been a Star Wars film. So you can't tell me that doesn't say quality, I mean, and you announce these films,
the
Dawn of the Jedi and a new Rey movie and Filoni's movie, and then all of a sudden Grogu comes out, and then Starfighter is getting shots. Like, you announce Patty Jenkins was supposed to be doing Rogue Squadron, and it's like
Taika Waititi.
All this excitement.
Where's his movie?
Who's that?
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? So you had all these exciting announcements, and I mean, you even had those 3 filmmakers up on stage at a con kind of talking about. So it's just odd. It's just odd how fast they announce stuff, but then they don't really follow up on some of this stuff yet. So we'll see how it rolls out. Like, all of a sudden, is this stuff going to just start coming out over the next couple of years?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I think, this year, like I said, this year, which we'll talk about, but, a movie and then a couple, like an animated series and then probably Ahsoka. So you got, that's a pretty big year if you had something like that. So, but for me, I think, definitely Andor was the highlight. I definitely find myself wanting to rewatch that stuff again at some point.
Absolutely.
It is arguably the best thing that Star Wars has put out there.
At least in modern history.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think I liked, of course, I liked Celebration, even though it was in Japan. I think Celebration is just a great event for Star Wars, and can't wait to get there in 27, which is next year. Yes. Star Wars Celebration in Los Angeles for the 50th anniversary is going to be crazy. Can't wait for that. And then, of course, so I would say those, and I would say probably, I mean, I think the announcement, if you want to talk about announcement, announcement of the, I like the idea of a starfighter and the announcement of, in the trailer for Grogu, Mandalorian and Grogu, but the announcement of Star Wars Maul was, I can't wait for that series.
Are they bringing back Sam Witwer?
Oh yeah. He's definitely the lead in that one.
The only one that I'm aware of who out-nerded Filoni.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
He is a talented actor. I was just watching Smallville earlier, and I completely forgot he was in it.
Oh, yeah. I loved him in Smallville. Yeah.
Oh, he was amazing.
Yeah, there's one time I regret, because I'm never for one to just go up to somebody, especially a celebrity, or anybody like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do try to respect people's privacy, because I've seen, obviously, just in my travels and in my work, I've seen a lot of celebrities. I remember being in LA, being in an LA airport. This was when, he was still Ben Affleck, but I saw Ben Affleck just walking around.
Oh, wow.
And everybody knew he was. He had done, most of it was just after Good Will Hunting, and he had done some stuff. So everybody, he was coming, people were coming up to him, getting pictures. So, but I didn't, I was 10 feet from him, and could have done that, but I was like, nah, I've seen several people. I just don't do it. But anyway, I can't remember which celebration it was, but I think it was in Orlando, and me and a couple guys were there, and we're walking down just the big hallway before, as you're kind of moving to room, and then you go through these double doors or whatever, and went through, and I opened the door for somebody, and I didn't realize till right when he walked past me, I was like, "That's Sam Witwer." And he's just kind of strolling down, like no one's talking to him or recognizing him. And I'm telling you, it was early on. I don't think anybody knew who he was. It was like, because he was the voice, right, of like Darth Maul and in Clone Wars, but no one really knew what he looked like. But I knew because I'd watched Smallville. Yep. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go say. So I like kind of followed him for a little bit, but I was like, you know what, I don't want to bother him. He just seems like he's on a mission trying to get somewhere. Right. But I missed that opportunity. But I did end up meeting him because I went to. So in a lot of people may not know, but there's actually is a city called Metropolis.
There is.
It's Metropolis, Illinois. And that is the official home of Superman. They even have it tied there. But it's have you ever been there?
I've never been, but I've seen pictures.
It is an extremely small town, which is ironic, right? Because Metropolis is like supposed
I was about
to
say, it's like people are like, this is Metropolis? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you blink and you drive right by it.
It's smaller than Lexington.
Oh, no, it's smaller than Versailles. It is tiny.
Right. It's tiny, tiny, tiny.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing downtown besides like a courthouse and maybe a couple buildings, but that's it. It's like, it's so tiny.
It's Smallville.
It's Smallville. It's pretty much Smallville. But they have, and to be honest, I haven't seen it in a while, so I think they still do it, but they have an annual Superman convention there.
Of course they do.
Of course they do. And for a long time, at least for the first years that I was part of it, and we would go down. Me and a couple of guys from work would go down. But they always flew in guests, like stars, like that were involved in Superman, the films.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we went like 3 years in a row, and I remember first year we met, they had so I'm going to get my years mixed up, but they had Sam Witwer there and Laura Vanderhoort, who played Supergirl on.
Oh.
So we met both of them, and we were kind of media at the time, like covering the event. So we sat down and had like full interviews with them, met them, hung out. When we hung out with Whitwer a little bit for the next two. The next year it was like Justin Hartley, who played Green Arrow. Met
he's
him.
Blown up.
Yeah, he's huge. And then then one year, which was awesome, they had the guy that played, I fail to remember his name. He played Jimmy Olsen in Superman Returns.
Okay.
And then Brandon Routh was there. And we did this, I'll never forget this, and you would appreciate this, and sorry everybody, I'm kind of going on a tangent here. But we got hired to do kind of a tourism video for Metropolis. And part of it was we recorded some stuff for, the Superman celebration. We had Brandon Routh. We got him to do the intro to the tourism video. Said, "Hey, it's Brandon Routh. It's a Superman." And you know what? Guess what? They never used the video. Never used it. The mayor or somebody changed like hands, and they just said, "No, we don't want it." So anyway, but the cool thing is my nephew Corey Cooley. Everybody knows him. He's Master Koo does some stuff with us sometimes. He was stationed. He joined the Marines, and he had stationed in Okinawa at the time. And he was so bummed because he had gone with us the previous couple years, and he couldn't go this time. So I still have it. I have a video of Brown and Ralph saying, "Hey Corey, we miss you, man. Wish you were here." And I sent it to him, and he was so thrilled with that. So anyway,
love that.
Anyway, where was I going with all this?
You met Sam.
Oh, Sam Witwer. I met Sam Witwer. Finally met Sam Witwer. And I told him that. I was like, I saw you at Celebration. I didn't want to say anything. He's, "Oh man, you should have, And it was but he is a great guy. He's a great actor. And you can obviously tell he's one of the best voice actors out there now.
Oh yes.
He not only does Darth Maul, but he did Emperor Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
Also the voice of that. But you're right. He was basically Doomsday in Smallville, the kind of the human version of it before he turns into Doomsday. But
yes,
no, he's great. He's fantastic. He's a very nice guy.
It's very nice that you have that perspective that the only difference between them and us is that they're in the spotlight.
That's right.
And they're famous.
Mm-hmm.
They have their normal lives, and you can tell. Like, I remember when I was young, it's not on the same level, but the weatherman at one of our local stations was at Starbucks. Very famous guy. His hat was down, his glasses was on, he had his collar popped, clearly not wanting anyone to go up to him.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, because I'm a little kid. Like, I don't know any better.
Yeah.
And my dad stopped me and said, "Do you see his body language? Do you see what he's doing?"
Right.
He just wants to get his coffee and go.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, so that's when, they're human.
Yeah.
They got their own lives.
Yeah.
And do what they do.
And that's why you never know, because, you've seen the videos of celebrities or famous people that get approached and they're just not nice. And, and it's not, maybe they're nice, but they're just having a bad day. And you just never know when you're going to catch them right,
And a lot of the times it's the paparazzi bombarding them.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but if all of a sudden I had a bunch of bright lights in my eyes, I think I throw a fit too.
Yeah, but I think but I agree. I think there's people that definitely, don't appreciate it, not appreciate it, but don't like that kind of part of the business. But that's the thing; it is part of the business,
right?
And I do appreciate those celebrities that understand that. And I feel like now you feel most of them, at least my experience, what I'm seeing is that most of them just avoid it. They just try to stay in, and they understand that, or they go out with an entourage of people that they can't get bothered.
Or they do what Daniel Radcliffe did, which was for a year, he wore the same outfit every day. So the paparazzi
couldn't get any new photos?
Nope.
Funny.
Because it looked like it was the same day.
That is actually really funny.
There are some other celebrities who have done that, actually. But Daniel Radcliffe did it first, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's brilliant.
Well, what's funny about Sam Witwer, though, if you really look back at his appearances, like when he goes and does a voiceover, it goes out to Celebration, he doesn't wear the same thing, but he wears the same style.
Yes.
He wears a hoodie jacket all the time.
All the time.
He has a different shirt on underneath sometimes, but he wears the same thing all the time.
I love it. Well, the thing is, there are also some celebrities that are like, yes, I love meeting and speaking with, like Keanu Reeves is one of them.
Yes.
And Ashley is one of them.
I was just about to say, Ashley is probably the best person I've ever met in person in public somewhere, and how appreciative she is of her fans all the time.
And an old friend of mine went to this convention where Sean Astin was there. And she was able to ask a question, but she didn't ask like what you typically ask actors.
Yeah.
She actually asked, what type of direction do you like? Like she asked a very unusual question like that. So at the end, when they did the meet and greet, they only had a certain amount of time with him. He purposely held on, like put his hand on the paper or on the poster that he was supposed to sign and talked to her for a solid 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think they can tell. They can tell when someone is approaching them out of respect.
Totally. And
out of like sure, there's some fangirling there. But they know the difference between that versus a creep. Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's ever tell you a story, real quick, that I haven't seen his name in a while, so maybe he might be retired now or something like that. But one of the original, they call him the Keeper of the Holocron, name's Leland Chee. He works for Lucasfilm, and he's one of their creatives and whatnot. He kept kind of all the archives together, and for a while there in the early 90s, 2000s, he was kind of the continuity person. But anyway,
the lore keeper.
Yeah, and I was always a big fan of his, still am, but I saw him at Celebration just walking the floor, and I couldn't stop myself. I was like, I got to go meet Leland Chee. So I walked up to him and just started talking to him, and he was very engaging, asked me, how, just what I was doing there, what I enjoyed about it, and I told him I'd been to all these celebrations, I love it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we talked for about 5-10 minutes before finally I felt like I was keeping him from, his day. And so I went, well, it's good to meet you. I'm going to go. And I remember walking away thinking, and because I kind of saw his face, I think he wanted to keep talking.
Right.
And I just kind of walked away, and I was like, did I just walk away from Leland Chee? and he wanted to keep and it was so weird. I actually felt bad about that because I was like, man, I could have sat there and we probably could have talked for like an hour just standing there. But he was a great guy. And I wish I would have kept talking to him. I was so mad. I was with Chad Perkins, right? Chad.
Yes, I know Chad.
So we were there we were there together at Celebration, and like I walked away with Chad. I'm thinking like, why didn't you tell me not to walk away from it? Why? Like what?
And Chad's like, I don't know.
I know. He's like,
no choice.
Yeah. So it is so fun. But anyway,
the other person that I heard is really nice is Mr. R.I.P. Mr. Rogers. He was on a talk show, and he said I have to take a car everywhere, even in a city, even in New York City.
Oh.
Even if it's a few blocks. And they're like, why? And he's like, it takes me forever to get somewhere. And they're like, okay, so they did an experiment to see how long it took for him to go for a block, which you've been in New York, LA. That takes like a couple minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
45.
Wow.
Because he kept on getting stopped. And he's the type of guy who will talk to everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, a girl who was blind wrote into the show and asked him if he was feeding his fish because she didn't know. She couldn't see. And from that time on, Mr. Rogers always on TV, I'm feeding the fish. And I know we got off topic, but there's some great people out there.
There's some good people out there, yeah. So
a lot of them connected with Star Wars.
Extended from, that all extended from me liking the announcement of Darth Maul and Sam Witwer coming back. But anyway, 2025. I think it was one of those years, like you said. It was there was some stuff. There was some announcements. There were some things to look forward to. I think a lot of it's going to be coming this year. Hopefully we can get we're going to be talking a lot coming up, I think, in the next few months about the movie coming out.
Yes.
As I'm sure a new trailer will probably drop. I'm sure there'll be more, things coming out about the movie, because it's still a little bit of a mystery what this movie's even about.
I'm actually really surprised nothing dropped over the holiday.
I agree. Yeah, I think trailer for Maul, a new trailer for the movie, some kind of stuff coming out maybe for Ahsoka at some point. I don't know. There'll be some new stuff, and then whether or not we could get another Tales of series this year. Who knows? I haven't really heard anything about that, but they're definitely because it might be tough to do that if the animation team is working on Maul. Who knows? But I definitely want. I know this Zero Company game's coming out, but I want one of these, like, another world building games, that they're talking this Eclipse game, or what's going to happen with this, remake for Knights of the Republic. I don't know. I hope we get something like that. There's obviously rumors about another Jedi game coming out, Star Wars Jedi Order, but I don't know when that's coming out.
Interesting.
But yeah, a third one is apparently being made. So
really?
Oh yeah. Those games are made them a ton of money.
Don't get me wrong, they're great games.
They're great games.
But where does the story go from there?
I don't know.
Like, I thought at this point they would transition to live action.
Yeah, maybe that's one more step, to get him there. But yeah, you're right. Okay, that's us looking back at 25.
Us going on tangents.
Talking about the replacement of Kathleen Kennedy. Tangents with celebrities that we've met over the years. It's funny because I do need to think back about all the people I have met, because looking back, it's like a lot. It's actually a few people.
At Star Wars wise, because I did Star Wars weekends growing up.
Oh, yeah.
So like I met Ashley, Tamara, Warwick, Peter Mayhew. I'm blanking on his name, but the guy who did the voice of General Grievous.
Yeah. Yeah.
List goes on and on. Producer of episodes 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Rick McCallum?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I've met a few Star Wars people, but I'm also thinking of like some random ones that I would never thought of. Like I went to dinner. Most people won't even know this, but do you know who Paul Wilson is?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
I do.
How do you know who Paul Wilson is? What do you know? What do you remember of him?
I just know his face. Like I've
Yeah.
seen him in the news. I've seen him on like entertainment shows. So like I know him.
So I went to dinner with Paul Wilson.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. In Los Angeles. He was in I helped a friend of mine who just finished film school and was trying to build a portfolio. He shot a short film in New York, and he asked me to come up there and produce it for him. So I went up there for a couple weeks, and Paul Wilson played the father. Now, for those of you who don't know who Paul Wilson is, he was a regular on Cheers, and he was the guy at the end of the bar next to Norm, and so that's where his fame was. But then he went on and did a lot of voice acting, and then he popped up again in a comedy called Office Space, where he was one of the Bobs. So this was a little after, like 4 or 5 years after Office Space. And he was casted in this. He got the director, who I knew, got this DP that had done a bunch of stuff, and he had a bunch of connections. So he put out and got Paul Wilson to play in the film. He got this woman named Tori Davis, who had just done Mystic River. She played Kevin Bacon's wife. So I met Paul there, and we hit it off because I was a big fan of Office Space. And he said, "Hey, you come out to LA." He gave me his number. He said, "You come out to LA. Let's go out to dinner." So I went to LA maybe like a year later, and we met up for dinner and went out. And yeah, so it's little things like that. It's like you said, it's like they're just like us. Sometimes it's weird how they seem unattainable, or you never really meet them. But I mean, we had a great conversation at like just dinner. We were just shooting the shit. It wasn't like we weren't talking about movies really and stuff like that. We were just talking about life. So yeah, stuff like that is weird because I'm sitting there like, I watched this guy on Office Space, a couple years in a movie theater, and now I'm sitting and having dinner with him in Los Angeles. Like that just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Anyway, so
it's awesome when you have those experiences.
Yeah, it's fun. It's crazy, and then just a few months ago, like this summer, Wrigley was helping produce this film, and I said I was going to visit set and see what's going on. I showed up, and the lead actor is Terrence Howard, who's an Oscar nominated actor. And I'm sitting there talking to Terrence Howard, and I was like hanging out with him for a little while. It's like, I mean, it's stuff like that. It's like, can't really explain how it happens, but it does, I guess. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun stuff. And then the story of, me and Sam running into Ashley at Epcot, at her birthday last year, and hanging out with her, and and we've met her previously at at LexCon. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway, it's just funny how you come across people sometimes, and to be honest, I've not had I can't really recall a bad experience with kind of a celebrity or a famous person. I've been fortunate enough I haven't had that.
I've had one.
You had one? Yeah. Probably not good to talk about it, but
Oh, I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like
Yeah.
hindsight 2020, it was a meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Oh,
stupid
it was
hot.
a meet and greet?
It was a meet and greet, and it was stupid hot. And they're older. And
Like
you
it was
could
at a
tell
convention?
they were,
It was at a convention or something?
yeah, we'll call it that.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can tell they were very uncomfortable. So I get it.
Yeah. I got pretty lucky. I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah, most of the time it's been great. Like when I lived in LA for a summer, you always travels in groups when you're young women. And so we did. And this guy walks by us, go, "Hey ladies." And we're like, "Hi." And then we all collectively stopped and went, "Neil Patrick Harris?"
Yeah.
And he was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
They're nice. They're nice.
Yeah, one other one I want to mention, because again, I like these. I like people. I like giving people praise that are really nice. But again, another guy, maybe a lot of people might not know, but a gentleman named Chris Mulkey. If you look up Chris Mulkey, he's been in a ton of stuff.
He sounds familiar.
And I know him. So anyway, I know him from this movie called Car Dogs. It was an independent film that the owner of our company, Wrigley, her husband helped finance this film.
Oh,
he was in it, but he's also been in a bunch of westerns, and if you look him up, he's just a big character actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Anyway, he did a movie. He came to Kentucky and did a movie called Above Suspicion, which was it was based on a true story about the first ever FBI agent that got convicted of murder because he murdered his informant.
Oh man.
And Chris Mulkey came up and played one of the FBI directors at the time, which was crazy. The reason why it was attached is I got involved in this was, so he was in town shooting the movie. He called James up because he had worked with James Miller on this movie.
Right.
And asked if he can get a new audition tape recorded because he was auditioning for another role. So he came into Wrigley and I helped, get him organized and get him filmed and met him there. And I told him at the time, I said, this was around Memorial Day. And I said, the movie you're shooting, the Above Suspicion movie, the True Life, it's based on, so my father-in-law, Brooke's father, is a former FBI agent. He was involved in, he's the arresting officer of the guy that murdered his informant. Yes. So he knew the whole story. He knew the true story of everything. And I told Chris this. I said, hey, my father-in-law is actually an FBI agent on this case. And he's like, oh man, that's great. And this is like a Saturday before Memorial Day. And I happened to just say, hey, are you off for Memorial Day? And he's like, yeah. I said, hey, if you want to come out, we have dinner and stuff. If you want to come out and hang and talk to him, here's my number. Just let me know. Not thinking anything of it.
Right.
Well, he texts me Monday morning and says, hey, can you come pick me up? I'll come hang out with you guys. So I picked him up at his hotel and drove him out to Versailles, and he sat and talked to my father-in-law for 4 hours.
Amazing.
About the script, about what really happened, because it was based on a book that the wife of the FBI agent wrote. So she wrote it out of perspective that the cops were bad, that the FBI was bad.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Well, my father-in-law read the book and was like, this is all,
yeah,
and he explained this to Chris, and Chris was like, he's like, I got a new perspective as I go into these like final scenes of this movie. And so he was
amazing.
So anyway, it's funny because we still, that was 2000, 16 or 17 maybe or something like that. I don't know, but we still text like a couple times a year.
That's amazing.
He checks in on me and I check in on him.
It's like with one of the biggest celebrities I met while working at Wrigley. And there have been quite a few.
There has been, actually.
There's been quite a few. And not just with movies and TV shows, even with just client work.
Right. That's right.
But I'll still remember I worked with Steve Zahn.
Yeah.
And I love him.
Yes.
Worked with him on one project. Didn't think he would remember me. Didn't think.
Yeah.
A year later, you assigned me to the project to work with him again. It was for the film tax incentive.
Yep.
And I saw him. And before I said anything, he came up, gave me a big hug, and said, "Hannah, darling, how are you?"
He's got a pretty good memory.
And I'm like, dang, man.
Yeah.
I can barely remember someone's name within the first 5 minutes I meet them.
Yeah. Yep.
He's also a meme.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Oh, he's amazing. There were so many great people we worked with at Wrigley.
I know. It's crazy. It's Steve loved when we were at our old building before we moved to the building. We were at our old building when I first met Steve. He came in. It was so funny because the night before I had just watched Saving Silverman when he was in with Jason Biggs and Zach and Jack Black, and it's so funny because I come out of my edit suite because I was an editor at the time. I come out of edit suite and there he is. I was like, and I remember seeing him like, "Whoa! I just saw you yesterday." He was like, "What?" I was like,
say that?
"Oh yeah." I was like, I was watching Saving Silverman yesterday. Oh man, he's like, "I love that movie." And my little, at the time, I had my little Boston Terrier, Miley, in there, and he got really friendly with her. So every time he came in, he sat with her and stuff like that. So he did a lot of voiceover stuff with the guy named Neil Kesterson that works with us. But anyway,
Neil,
he was great. Steve's great.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I just talked to him a couple weeks ago because sort of film incentive stuff. But
yay!
Anyway, all right. So that is nothing to do with Star Wars.
Well, I think this is the first episode we've done where the majority of it has nothing to do with this.
I know, and we apologize. Sorry. We're
just, sorry. This is what happens when we haven't talked in like a month.
We haven't, and we're catching up. And I will finish with the my favorite. I wouldn't say my best, but my favorite experience meeting Star Wars people. I did get a meet and greet, and I'm so glad I did before she passed away. But I do have a picture of the Skywalker twins, Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. I do have a picture of me, a couple guys. We all got chipped in, and we all got in. And so I do cherish that picture. I do have that. Met them real briefly, but yeah. What? Yeah, Carrie and Mark. It's funny because I usually don't pay for like those meet and greet pictures because it's pretty expensive.
They're expensive, but that one.
But exactly, I saw the Skywalker. They even put the Skywalker twins, and I was like, I gotta do it.
How fast did it sell out?
Oh, it was gone in minutes. I mean, we had to wait.
I bet
we had to wait like almost 2 hours to see them.
I bet.
Yeah. So, but and you're only in there for like literally a minute.
If that. It's literally go in, hi, cheese, snap, thank you, leave.
Exactly. I know. So, but I got it. So
amazing. You have to share that at some point.
I do have to share that at some point. I got it. I think I got it in the closet over there, because I used to have it in a frame over here somewhere, but now I have like I met. So see, I have signed pictures over here of like. I met another guy that's awesome is oh my God, Greg Grunberg, who plays Snap Wexley, and he was in Heroes. I met him for a while, talked to him for a long time. We talked. We got into a lot of like his son was. I think he's got He's got some disease or something like that.
Oh.
So we talked a lot about that, and actually that interview is on our podcast. Like if you go back and search Greg Grunberg, that's in there. We had him on the show. Tom Kane, met him a few times. We interviewed him on the show. He's fantastic.
Catherine Tabor,
yes. God, why is it his name escapes me? The guy plays voices Zeb Aurelius, Steve Bloom.
What?
Yeah, met him. Yeah, so got his autograph over there. Got Giannis Sanatone. Giannis is the new Chewbacca. Met him. Got him to sign my daughter's Chewbacca figure. So this is it. I know a lot of people probably turned this episode off by now, but it's like, it's funny, Hannah. I really appreciate this because it's really bringing back a lot of memories that I didn't really think about all the people that I have met. And
well, this is what the new year is about.
That's right. Reflecting, right?
Reflection.
Yeah. Yeah. This makes me want to to really think about all the people that I've met and pictures that I've gotten and get a collection and make sure I have the collection together.
Indeed.
Anyway. Well, Hannah, anything else any other celebrities you want to bring up?
I'm sure there are some, but I can't think of any that are relevant to Star Wars.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out the last 15 minutes, just hearing us chat. We hope you enjoyed the holidays. We hope you had a great new year and you're off to a great start. We're here. We're back. We're going to be doing our show next week. That's going to look forward to 2026 and what's to come.
Yes.
Everything that we know about and maybe even some things we anticipate. But we'll go over that and what we're looking forward to. And then we'll get into, our regular weekly stuff. And then, of course, we've already made sure we tried to, before we got sick, we also tried to knock out another commentary. But, we'll get to doing those again.
Yes.
And all the stuff that we need to do for Star Wars. So, Hannah, as always, thank you. Thanks for. Hope you're feeling better.
Thank you. You as well.
How's the job going? Good still? Everything good?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good. We are trying to get down to a cruise on spring break. So we'll see. We'll see if we can. I got a cruise already booked for July, so we'll see. But
indeed,
we're on the cruise kick right now, so we'll see until all the stuff gets finished in the parks, all the construction and stuff.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week. Happy New Year. May the Force be with you.